The case of a young Chinese woman deprived of her personal freedom can be seen as a prime example of power asymmetry. In both law and finance, asymmetry is always the source of the most serious risks. When one side holds complete control and the other is unable to react, the outcome is often predetermined. In investing, this is a situation where the investor completely loses negotiating leverage. In personal life, it's when autonomy ceases to exist. Modern legal systems are designed to limit such asymmetry. Principles of human rights, due process, and independent oversight are not intended to create complexity, but rather to prevent the absolute concentration of. When the consequences of a decision are irreversible, the demands for checks and balances must be raised to the highest level. In this case, the core issue doesn't lie with the individual involved, but with how the system allows extreme risk to arise. When a person is placed in a situation where all options are narrowed, the probability of a negative outcome increases significantly, even if that probability may initially be very small. In finance, fund managers use various tools to limit tail risk. They diversify portfolios, set loss limits, and maintain liquidity to be able to react quickly to market fluctuations. The goal is not to maximize short-term profits, but to survive worst-case scenarios. This comparison highlights a crucial commonality. Any system that ignores extreme situations is creating a fatal weakness for itself. When safeguards are insufficient, the risk doesn't disappear but silently accumulates, waiting to erupt. Another characteristic of extreme risk is its non-linearity. Losses don't increase gradually in small increments, but often appear suddenly and far exceed initial predictions. In financial markets, this manifests as unexpected crashes. In social life, it's reflected in decisions that have far-reaching impacts on individuals' lives. The law is expected to act as a tail risk prevention mechanism. Multi-tiered review procedures, the right of appeal, and independent oversight exist to reduce the probability of systemic errors. When these mechanisms are not strong enough, extreme risks will no longer be controlled. From a management perspective, the lesson is clear. A safety system doesn't need to be perfect in every situation, but it must be robust enough to handle the worst-case scenarios. In investment, this means protecting capital before seeking profits. In society, it means protecting people before pursuing efficiency. This case analysis, therefore, is not intended to tell a tragic story, but rather to emphasize a general principle. When the consequences are irreversible, risk must be managed to the highest possible degree. In the stock market, that principle helps investors survive in the long term.